Peace. Welcome to another Alray Haku show.
Word.
We got our guest, a guest co-host for the day, my boy right here, James. You know what I mean? Y'all might know him better as Red Villain from the Red Villain show.
Nightmare Mode Radio.
Nightmare Mode Radio. And we are Alray Haku, as y'all well familiar with.
You know.
Starting right off at the gate, it was a situation that immediately caught my attention this past week. Young man, 20 years old.
Where was it? Where did this happen?
I can't remember the location. I want to say Michigan, Grand. What was it? Grand Rapids, somewhere. It was
somewhere in the Midwest.
Yeah, it was somewhere.
Area.
Yeah. And so what happened was, just to get bring people up to speed. There was a string of burglaries occurring in this particular neighborhood. This particular house had 2 of them burglaries prior, like 2 days in a row. So on the 3rd day, police was called to the residence. The young man seen. Now, mind you, when the police arrived, there was no badges. They didn't announce their presence. They was in an unmarked car, nor did they have any flashes on. So the young man, all he seen was flashlights.
Yeah.
And I could see that. You know, that's one of the procedures of police. They do that. Yeah. So
if you black in America after age 13, you done seen something like that before.
Yeah. So he got the flashlight. So he see the flashlight, he go and get his father's shotgun. And as a result of that, he shoots one officer in the face and one in the chest.
And he was by himself?
I think his family was in the house. His family was in the house. He was playing the role of the protector.
Yeah, where was the father?
In the absence of his father.
In the absence of his father.
Somewhere.
Okay.
Maybe working or lurking, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whether working or lurking, he was still...
Matters not. This is what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened. So now the young man is facing 20 years, up to 20 years in prison because of that.
Now this sounds to me, just hearing what you're saying, sounds to me like just a very unfortunate incident. And I gotta, as I'm hearing the details that you're providing, like it just sounds like a really unfortunate incident. Like you got a household that's been burglarized twice. And I can understand why the police are in an unmarked car, as not to be noticed. I can understand why they're shining lights in the window, almost like, you know, like you want to catch, if anything's going on, you want to catch shit by surprise. You know, you're not going to announce, hey, it's the police, so the motherfuckers like, oh, the police are here. Gives us, if just in case anything is going on.
But I think that's part of their protocol, whether something going on or not. I think they're supposed to announce themselves. When they in plain clothing.
Well, I don't know, because like, you know, you trying to stop crime, and think about it.
Well, I see your point.
You trying to stop crime, and you don't want crime to know you coming.
Yeah, I understand the gist of that, but policy-wise, I'm not sure if that is how it go. But
I don't know whether it conceptually makes sense. Yeah. I'm not gonna let the person I'm trying to catch in the act. I'm not gonna let you know I'm coming. I'm not gonna announce myself. I.e., I want to catch you with an act. But the reason I say it's very unfortunate is because now what's going to happen to this very here's what's going to happen, it sounds like. What's going to happen with just this fluke of a misfortunate incident is going to be, people are going to try to grab it toward some kind of pro or to some kind of false pro-black movement and or some kind of pro-cops movement. And it's not even that. It's he did what he did. He was protecting his household. There used to be a time in this country where, you know, he'd be exonerated, and that's where like you got that's where the potentiality for it to turn into a race thing rather than an unfortunate accident thing happens, because it is like, okay, you know, if he doing 20 years, we as a people going to automatically ask if it was a white kid that did that. You know.
Yeah, he would have been
given the same history. His white kid's house been burglarized twice. Dad is out. He's protecting his home from. If it were a white child, would you be looking at 20+ years? You know, and that's a question we gotta ask. Given the history of this country.
Surely he wouldn't, especially if he was a good kid and a promising.
Well, here's a great case to your point. this guy that was on The Bachelor, this white dude, who had another DWI prior to the one he just he just killed an old man. Ran into a tractor, killed an old man, ran back to his house, locked himself in the motherfucking house for 5 hours, and made the police wait to get a search warrant to get it. By that point, you could be doing all types of shit, trying to get the shit out your system and shit. And the old man is dead, and it looks like he might not even get manslaughter, just gonna be out here. The town is rallying behind him. Such a good guy. But he has issues with drinking and driving in the past, but, you know, he's a white dude, and he's getting off, and somebody's dead. You know, and now we have this black young boy with a gun, and that's what America sees.
But see, this the issue right here, though. You know, in America, and we spoke about this on a number of occasions. In America, it's already perceived that anytime you mention the word black man and gun in the same sentence, we are conditioned to think, it must be illegal. We never ask, well. The mainstream media never says, well, we're waiting to see any information if the gun was registered, just in case. Like, you know, look at my man Philando, right? The gentleman that got killed on Facebook Live in front of his kid, and his gun was registered, and he announced to the officer that he had that he was a card carrier. You know, citizen, you know, in the gun, you know, world or whatever the case may be.
He had a legally registered firearm in his gun department, and he said, "I have one,"
which is the law out there.
He's completely within the confines of the law,
and he was still shot.
And it's something that a black male specifically with a firearm, you know, no one gives you. That's such a scary thing. It's 2017. That's such a scary thing to white America still. So now this young boy, who's protecting his home front, like anyone else would do. And you got to take, he's a kid.
You know, 20 years old, man. You ready to take his whole life.
The human mind doesn't, the brain, as opposed to the mind. The human brain, that physical organism doesn't even mature to adapt to our confines of society until about age 20-something.
Okay.
And how old is this young man?
20, from what I understand. He's 20 years old.
He's just...
Yeah, he's still a baby. So the thing about this, though, is we know that America don't have no problem snatching the youth.
Nah, they don't.
You know, they have no problem targeting. Right now, we're in a situation where you barely... we seeing cops beating up... We've been seeing cops beating up old ladies.
Yeah, but we see
now they beating up little children. They beating up motherfucking old women. They beating up old men.
Well, you see what they
killing
did.
Innocent people.
You see what they did to Emmett. You see what they did to Emmett Till back in the day.
Yeah.
And those people weren't cops then, but they are cops now. You dig what I'm saying?
No, see, this is the thing. When you look at them old pictures, right, with those white folks standing and the nigga hanging somewhere, and they had them picnics, them picking niggas activity. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a lot of them were probably around our age at that time, and then you will see sprinklings of little kids that would be like 5, 6, 9 here, maybe 13 there. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see them sprinkled throughout the crowd when you look at these old photos. Those people are now the ones that were our ages. Those are the teachers and the judges now. Yeah. And then them little kids that we see, they are the officers, they are the sergeants and lieutenants and the firemen and this, that, and the third, blah, 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 and the lawyer. All of these people, they still alive. Those just because them pictures was in black and white, don't mean that them all, you know what I mean? That is.
Yeah, I dig what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Understand. I mean, this sounds like a very unfortunate incident, and I'm gonna keep my eye posted on this one.
Word.
It's very unfortunate, and I'm gonna keep my eye posted, particularly on which, and I'm gonna say, this is me saying, pseudo movements are going to try to adopt this issue to suit their purpose.
But look, though, right? My fault. But look, though, right?
No, you good.
You got this young kid. You got my man they got a pattern of this shit. And
it's true. It's institutionalized racism.
Yeah. Remember that you had the therapist, he had his hands up. He explained to them that this is an artistic kid. Yeah, now this is the thing that I didn't get about him. This if you black in America and you can't see what the fuck is going on, you either a motherfucking coon or you Ray Charles. And either way you still a coon. But check this out, right? Nah, let me take that back. Ray wasn't a coon. He might have started off, but he did do some good. Anyway.
Why you just throw Ray Charles in the middle of this shit, bro?
But anyway, look, check it out, right? The man sitting, to finish my point, the man sitting like this, spread eagle style, damn near. You know what I'm saying? Reverse spread eagle, whatever, you know what I mean? The kid, the artistic kid, he's now, you know, cops always kill us for, you know, oh, he had $1 in his hand, he waved his license too fast, you know what I mean? The kid is waving the toy truck, which the therapist is saying, that's just a truck, he don't have a gun. How you still end up shooting the guy that's not moving?
Damn.
You got a nigga that's moving. He ain't even laying on the ground, the artistic kid. And he was big as fuck.
Yeah, I saw
he was a big kid. You know what I'm saying? And he had the truck in his hand like this, and he was sitting up. But he was just on the ground.
Yeah.
But his chest was up. The dude was like this on the ground. And the cop still shot him. He asked the cop why he shoot him, and the cop said, I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
That's sad.
That shit is horrendous.
That's sad, man.
But like, you know, it's ill because, you know, historically we called it chattel or cattle slavery. But we still living like cattle out here. Like, and
we meet out here for these guys, man.
God,
they lunching on us. Heavy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
We meet out here for these guys, man. They are lunching on us.
So then what's the thing? Like, there's always some kind of meeting of the minds where cats try to figure out
we need to
plausible solutions.
We've been saying the same thing. We need to come together.
Coming to the same.
We gotta come together economically, militarily. Yeah, and militaristically, economically, and just culturally. We gotta get a code, man. I keep hearing
so every mad organizations come out, and I've been in organizations.
They distractions,
and they got, but they got codes too. So like, what's the code? What kind of code?
No, we need a universal code. Not under no flagship and nothing like that. Just period, point blank. This is when you black. This is how we gonna act according to one another.
Some niggas don't think they black.
Dope. And then that's what
Kendrick
I said.
Lamar said he ain't black.
Did you hear what I said?
Why would he say that?
If you're black.
What'd you say?
At this point,
why would he say
wait, say it. Well, ask that again.
Why would he say that?
At this point, it don't even matter, yo. Everybody gonna start saying they not black. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. If you black, and you know you black, and you proud to be black, and you have no problem with being black, then we gotta start acting accordingly.
What does that mean?
That mean when we see each other, we gotta motherfucking have respect for one another. We gotta have each other back. We gotta, even if we don't know each other, if you're in a situation, listen to what I'm saying. If we're in a situation, say we all come into a restaurant. We don't know each other. You over there with your girl, I'm over here with my girl, we over here. But obviously I'm looking around the restaurant, you probably are too. Cause you know we looking around. And you notice, oh, all right, I see 2 brothers over there, 2 ladies over there. Boom. Something pop off with the waitress. Now you know, it ain't no disrespect. You know, black people can sometimes get loud. You know what I mean? But in this case, you see, you observe. There's no kind of disrespect. You just close enough to hear the exchange, and you find no reason to be like, oh yeah, he had that coming. You know what I'm saying? So they start grappling with him.
What kind of scenario was this?
This is the type of scenarios you've been seeing out here. Have you not been seeing these kind of scenarios?
Yeah, but not with cops. Not with waiters.
You seen it with the Korean lady.
Yeah, that shit did happen.
It keeps happening.
All right, so say that shit.
Did you see the shit in England with the Korean lady?
Nah, yo.
I mean, not the Korean lady, the Indian dude with the white woman and shit.
Nah, bro.
He grappled with her. That was crazy.
Nigga, yo, all that means niggas is grappling.
Yo, but
Niggas is grappling.
So okay, so they in there chopping them up.
Yeah.
So you just go keep on eating your spaghetti. So you gonna start filming. Let me find out you gonna pull your camera out. And
Hey,
start
number
filming.
one, I don't even have a smartphone.
Okay.
So I can't
so
even
what,
do it.
So what is your solution?
Depends on the. I was thinking about this because I think I hinted on it on a past show. Like somebody, like our people have a habit of saying we need programs and shit,
We've been having programs.
and that's my point.
We
So it's
programmed.
like, that's the point. Yeah, that's the point.
We programmed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
It's
that
getting out of line.
I think that
And that's why. Oh, so can you answer my first question
What's
about
the first
coons? Is they coons or is they Ray Charles? Which one?
Who?
Is it?
Which
the
one?
people, the people that can see these incidences and
keep eating.
and be
and
like
keep recording.
and keep eating
Yeah.
and yeah,
And keep
start
recording.
and start
while they
recording.
watching and start recording.
Yeah,
I think it's double folded. I think
I feel a filibuster coming on.
nah, you don't.
I
feel
a
like-
filibuster.
I feel like on the one hand, I mean, okay, there are multiple hands. Like this shit is. I mean, that's the culture in which we live in with these young people. You know what I'm saying? And you got aside to these young people, you got I barely know how to work Facebook. That's my word. That's my word, bro. Like you got motherfucking we live in an age with nanas. Grandmas got tramp stamps out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, yeah.
This shit is crazy.
You feel me? This shit is
Crazy.
it's a different world in which we live.
Word.
Everything. So like everything's being recorded. It's not even just the young motherfuckers. It's like the old folks are adopting this young mentality, and okay, we like it because we don't like it, but we appreciative of okay, we got all this information. You can't deny it's happening anymore. Like say in the 80s and 90s, it's hearsay and shit. Like this shit all over the place. YouTube, worldwide fucking networks and shit. So on that level, we got all this fucking proof. On the level of just being there in the moment, like yeah, I feel like absolutely the motherfucker that's filming that shit, watching that shit happen, should get his ass whipped. I do.
Yeah.
I do. Like even at my job, I like there used to be a pregnant chick that fucking do shit, and I used to watch this nigga just watch her do shit. But he right there, I'm like, yo, shorty clearly like she's there for whatever reason, but like, yo, are you serious? Like you able-bodied as hell.
So let me ask you this.
Yo, I
So
just
you
want to
want
say.
to chime in on? Go ahead. chime in.
Yeah, I just want to say on the contrary, what you just described me, those are the coons. But on the contrary to what he said, Ray Charles, I know people in my family, they just can't connect all the dots. And
Yeah.
by the time
or
they
just
get those
blind.
incidents,
Which still
it's
by
on
default,
CNN.
make you a coon though. By default, because because I'm about to tell you why.
They need to be
All right,
awoken.
Go ahead.
Those people are the Ray Charles. They don't see all the.
Yeah,
and they're not on the internet like us and know all
I'ma
the
just say,
information and all that.
We
So
not
by
gonna
the
fuck
time-
around in this episode and just go associate Ray Charles with coonerism.
No, we're
I
not.
I know why you use it.
As the
but
blind, it was a joke.
Yeah, I know.
And I had
We're
the
not-
utmost
we're not
respect
gonna
for
do
Ray
that.
Charles. That's why I
I'm
recanted it
just
the first
saying,
time.
people that are blind.
Okay, let's
to
get.
the
we not even
evidence-
gonna let that
Okay,
stop.
okay, my fault.
Yeah,
You
we
know
not
what?
doing that.
Scratch Ray Charles. I apologize to the ancestor where he was born, but we gonna say Anne Frank then. Are they just Anne Frank then? Because on some real shit, like even though you might not be awoken to it, but this shit been happening so long. It's common sense. It's common sense, yo. It's so blatant and in your motherfucking face that to close your eyes is to have your eyes closed is just to imagine that is scary. I'm scared to even know that a nigga around me will have his eyes closed. That mean real on some real talk. That mean like if a yatta came up to me right now and just hooked me, and him and his boys start dragging me towards their pickup truck, y'all niggas just gonna sit here and be like, well, I mean,
nah, that can't happen.
He did have it coming.
Nah, see that can't happen.
That's scary. Or now that's one. That's the
shouldn't
coon right there. Now look, the other nigga, the blind one, to be like, I mean, ain't he a gang member too? Or
Hey, that's
like
now that's some cool shit.
you feel
That's
me?
some cool shit.
I thought,
'cause
that was a
shouldn't
gang rivalry or something.
That shouldn't happen.
You know what I mean?
But you know, like the same way I said in the beginning of this episode when we talked about that kid that shot those two cops. the same way I said that's an unfortunate incident. I mean, there's a level of institutionalized racism. It just consumes this whole society, and it's so pervasive. And at the same time, situations at some times, such as the one in the beginning of this episode, need to be taken case by case. But we all know that there's even this seemingly right now isolated incident. There's a level of racism in it, because we have to ask, if that were a young white child, would they be looking at 20 years, or would it just be fucking a really misfortunate incident? Now, unfortunately.
Now, that's okay.
And we have, and given the construct of this society and where we are, given the history of the society up until now, we got to look at that shit, and innately our knee-jerk reaction going to be, and rightly so, nah, that was a young white dude. That he wouldn't be looking at.
Okay, and we
just like this cat that was on The Bachelor, killed a 66-year-old man, and did all this fuck shit right after, left the scene of the crime and shit. He ain't looking at no time.
And the town rallying behind.
Yeah. It's an unfortunate accident.
But now we have that. Now you absolutely correct, because they wouldn't do it. And we got case. We do have situations where we can compare. One, the black dude that raped remember the little football kid that he was like 18 and he got his little dick sucked by a motherfucking white girl and they sent him to prison. Now, boom, look at the white kid. He raped the girl, leave her unconscious by the dumpster, and they say he's too affluent to go to jail. It will fuck up his life.
We can't do this thing.
That's right there is telling you there's a line. There's classes here. I'm not gonna send this man away for some gutter trash.
That's why he left her there.
You don't get it? The news telling you this shit. But it's fake news, like Trump said, because they frame it how they want. That's what they don't tell you the truth of it. They're not gonna sit there and say, well, we just said she's gutted trash and he's wealthy. He's from the upper echelon, and she's trash.
We can't do this.
So what did y'all expect?
It's a type of American blue blood. I did.
You know what I'm saying? But when your racehorse do something stupid, you punish your racehorse. You put it down.
Put that shit down.
And that's what all these athletes are fucking racehorses. They racehorses. Am I lying? And when your racehorse he high too much, you take him around the back, and what you do?
You gotta put it down.
So what he do? He fucked that. Now they probably invested since he was a kid. You know how they started scouting niggas, and then he get that age, and then you fuck with the white woman. You deflect King Kong, and you go on top of the Empire State Building with her. He pulled out the Empire State on there and told her to give him head. And you feel me?
Oh shit, yeah.
Now see, because you're not from the upper echelon.
I do.
And I'm gonna put another perspective on this black thing. You know, I'm starting to see that the reason these people are starting to say they don't want to really the black one, because any educated man know that the word black in its dictionary, you know what I'm saying, true to form definition. You feel me? No, it has all kind of evil and wicked connotations attached to it. Can we agree on that?
There are negative connotations to it in the dictionary.
Did you hear what I said? Any educated, you gotta, I'm not disrespecting you, what I'm saying. Any educated black man knows that it is. Or woman. And it is. So they will say, I'm not black. They might not necessarily be saying, I'm not melanoid, like he said. Melanoid. You feel me? Now that's a good term, because that's what it means. You know what I mean? Pigmentated. You know what I mean? But anywho.
Melanoid. Wow.
It might not necessarily mean that, but they just saying, I'm not, they ain't saying that I ain't African. I'm just saying I ain't black. And that's cool. But me personally, I like to say, I'm saying, like I said, that's cool for them. Me personally, I like to go black anywhere, because I know anywhere on this planet Earth, until me and my people get our shit together, I'm going to be black. Until we get our shit together, I'm going to be a nigga.
No, you're not.
Listen to what I'm saying.
I hear what you're saying. Well, no,
Stop
you're not.
listening to what I'm saying. So we gotta get our shit together. We don't gotta deny
Oh, I
this
hear
shit.
what
You sitting here denying this shit. I'm saying, yeah, listen, any educated man, yeah, we gonna be black. I'm not necessarily. It ain't.
No, I know. I understand what you're saying.
You
Yeah,
feel me?
I understand.
So we gotta get our shit together. We gotta
You absolutely
motherfucker
right.
bring our. We gotta.
I mean,
And it start at home.
so,
Like,
I was about to say,
like you, what you doing? You doing it. You know what I mean? What I'm doing with my youngin'. So every day I'm infusing in her. Every time I'm talking to her.
Yeah, I went to work on Saturday.
You know what
I'm mad. Well, I thought I was late anyway. I get to the bus stop right across the street, right? On Bloomfield Ave. You know, I get there. There's a stack of books, and they all about. Each one is about this thick, and it was just on different people that we know of. Like when we were growing up and shit, I had to learn about, say, like about Arthur Ashe, Langston Hughes, Sojourner Truth,
Extended.
yeah, and it was like about a good 15 or 20 of them. So I stuffed them shits in my bag. My son's gonna read all that shit.
But you know what? That don't go deep enough.
And it don't.
That's the standard.
And that's the thing. But it's like,
But you know what? That's control information.
It damn sure is.
That's control
but here's the
information.
shit. Yo, you gotta know that, and you gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but like in this day and age, like they don't even know that. For example, like when my kid was in the 2nd grade, my kid was 5. I taught him 2 things. Two of the things I taught him was how to play chess when he was 5, and I taught him how to write in cursive when he was 5. They didn't start teaching him how to write cursive until the 3rd grade, and he was like, why don't they write in cursive like me? Like he does whatever. So it's like, I'm always, as much as I can, like, okay, you got to take this.
That's the duty of a father.
It's the duty of a parent.
Yeah.
You know
A
what
parent.
I'm saying?
Yeah, mother too, but I'm saying
it's the duty of a parent.
I can only speak for myself being a man, and I'm not going to speak
Here's
for the
my
masses.
point. Wait, hold on. Here's my point. Here's why I brought those books up. All those people are lost right now with these millennials. They don't even know the basics, and it's like, who the fuck just left these out here? Like, who discarded these? They were discarded. It's like, damn, like, yo, just where we are in 2017 right now, these stories get discarded. That's fucked up.
I kind of disagree though a little bit, because I run into a few young brothers that actually be on their shit, man.
Well, I'm not saying that those don't exist. I mean, we doing this shit right now.
And it seems like every day I'm running into more and more.
But my point is, those books were discarded, and that's a disheartening thing.
Books get discarded.
Yeah, but like they were all together, collectively discorded.
Yeah.
You know? And it does, and I'm sorry, it does represent
that sound like somebody maybe in a racist capacity. Get rid of that shit. Like, I don't need this shit. Fuck these niggas. You know what I mean?
You know what? I could even see that on either side of the fence.
Yeah, like, you feel me?
And on one side of the fence,
get rid of these shits. I'm not gonna get these. I don't controlling the information.
On one side,
got rid of it. Got rid of it.
Here's what happened. They were found discarded. It's unfortunate.
They was discovered. That's all. But that's always been our story, though.
What's that?
That incident right there has been our story. Hold on, let me take that back. That hasn't always been our story, but since coming in contact with these evil ones, the evil dwellers, that has been our story. You know what I'm saying?
The evil dwellers.
The evil doers, but the cave dwellers. Since coming in contact with them, that has been our story. We have been discarded, and then we have been found and claimed again. And now we show.
Is that right?
And now we show. I'm telling you, we on the right, bro.
Really?
When that melon start glowing, man, you gonna see.
Yo, I ain't say I was melanated, bro.
You can't. You don't gotta say it.
Yeah, that's why I ain't
You
say
don't gotta
that shit.
say it.
I'm black in America.
It's obvious.
I'm black in America.
And I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. I ain't mad at you, but you definitely you
do tell.
Long as you ain't denying who you are, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
That's
it.
all. That shit was crazy. Probably ain't get that last. That shit happen all the time. Look, see, now that we press it again, it's gonna come on. So look, what I was saying though, to wrap it up, where I left off at.
We gotta evolve with the technology.
Yeah, we gotta evolve with the technology, right? If we don't, we gonna fall behind, and we've been falling behind. That's why I was saying that CD shit. he don't like to hear no jokes and shit like that, but because he be hating, you know what I'm saying? It's keeping up with the technology, right? It's so critical, and that's why that whole we gotta start downloading nigga jokes was in. But anyway, we gotta. If you don't, we gonna fall behind. We already fell behind because we now. Let's get back to what we were talking about previously. We was talking about the family and why it's not at its core. I believe is because the man and the woman have so much conflict and they're not together. That's why. That's my personal opinion.
I mean, I
think everything else behind that
that's
is
a
just,
very broad way of stating it, and that's true.
At the very core, that's who's gonna be there. Who gonna be there when you peel all the layers back?
Listen to what I'm saying. I said that what you just said
was very broad.
It was not to say it's not true, but that's a very broad way of saying it. And the reality,
I thought that was the most simplistic.
Yeah,
actually,
not. I know you. I know you. Well, that's fine. But
that's the most simplest.
It was very broad, but even in its simplicity, it has so many sub variables that each one needs to be paid attention to. It's like a multi-layered knot. You know what I'm saying?
And at the core of it lies me and her. At the core of that knot,
you're gonna get that rope straight, but you can't get it straight without untying each knot.
Yeah, but that's the elements that we were spoken of. These other little where the evil doers come into place. That's why I said that already.
Yeah, we got issues.
Yeah,
word up. That's what you said.
We need to at the core of that we gotta get our shit together.
Yeah,
I believe that's everything.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's not that I'm saying you're not right in a very broad concept, but like, what does that look like? What does that mean? Just the very fact, because listen to you, you're like, we got to get our shit together. Who's we?
The black man and black female got to get our shit.
We got to get our shit together.
And look, and because we broken right now.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay, now check this out. The reason why it's such a multi-layered and maybe even on some levels archaic desire is because like there's so many sub-realities. We just talked about the homosexual aspect to that sub-community in black,
which is one of the knots,
and that's a knot that is like, you know,
that's one of the knots.
That's such a pervasive knot. Misogynism is such a pervasive knot. And there's so many other things. Economic imbalance is such a pervasive knot. There's so many knots. So it's like when we use these general terms, I'm not saying
that affect all these knots affect me and
but all these knots need to be equally addressed. And it's not my point is like Dick, where we are right now, you were mentioning about like, you know, we haven't always seen single parent households and shit like that, which is true. This is still in comparative history to us being here in our new history since chattel slavery to now is a new phenomenon. So it took maybe about 400 years to see this weird breakdown of the black family. It might even take that much or twice as long to see it rebuild.
I disagree. I respectfully disagree.
Because of the psychological aspects and societal aspects.
Like I said, as a whole. Now,
and time is real. Time is real. This wound is real.
But I'm gonna respectfully disagree. If we go back to pre-Brown versus Board of Education, when we go back to the good old days, to the John Wayne days, right? Pre-Brown versus Board of Education days, right? Where predominantly most of who taught our children? We did. We taught our children. We put the most precious commodity asset that we have in our community into the hand of our enemies. How that work?
I'll show you. I'll tell you how that works.
Oh, I mean, well, you don't got to tell me how that works. That's
how that work.
Yeah, it was just. It was not a question. It's rhetorical. Yeah, that was a rhetorical question. You familiar?
I'm glad you backstepped and realized.
No, that's not a backstep. You acting like you don't understand language and saying. But anyway,
I understand. You asked a real question. Yeah, you asked a real question, but you just realized that's an asinine question.
No, I didn't ask
like how that worked. You know how it worked.
It's called rhetorical, man. Like, damn, I gotta spell it for you too, nigga. Like, the fuck. But anywho, moving right along though, I agree with you. I agree with you on the aspect that, or rather, it's just correct that this is a new phenomenon. when we left slavery, right? When we left slavery, we was together. The family was knitting. Yeah, it was a sprinkle of behavior that would have been frowned upon in the community. Of course, it's always been like that forever. Cool, no problem. But a lot of shit that we seeing nowadays. Like for instance, the behavior of grandma nowadays was never like that. The family was so much together. It's different. You built the family is broken right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing that. There's been and there is
now
a systematic war waged on us.
So, but look, you said but where I disagree at though, it ain't been that. It ain't gonna take no 300-400 years because look, just now, if you go back to the pre-Brown versus Board of Education. All our kids was in our schools, and the family was strong. The family ain't get strong until like the 60s with the welfare shit. And they took them, and what that welfare do?
I agree with you.
The welfare took the man out the house deliberately. You couldn't get on. You could,
hey,
and they took.
Now listen, I agree.
Oh yeah, but this going to your layers.
I agree. No, I agree with you. I agree with you that like
shit. What time you gotta go?
Yeah,
it's about to blink. But
you just cut me off again, didn't you?
No, I could. That's what I'm saying. I could put the other battery in so you can get your last cent.
It's not that deep.
But you would tell me anyway.
I agree with you that fucking that pre-segregation, it was seen that we were no longer sub-nation, economically, subculture.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
When we